seguro. Mira, vai.
Soothing.
Поговорим? Не поговорим. Давай поговорим.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari. I knew the Federation would see through the Elidians' baseless claims and protect the interests of my people.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
I will keep that in mind.
I assume you were there, the day the mines were seized from the Elidians.
Not seized. Reclaimed. And restored to their rightful owners. Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive. Before the Elidians could even realize their worst nightmares upon them.
Were the Hotari miners armed during the revolt? I'm just trying to understand how it happened.
If by that you mean armed with centuries of abuse and exploitation at the hands of the Elidians, then yes.
Which doesn't really answer my question.
We had them vastly overwhelmed from the start. They respect one thing above all else, and that is force. The greater the force, the more certain the outcome. Any talk of making peace is just that, and worth little without the strength to secure it. Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resurgence. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Elidians might have in store. Or is that not true? Maybe I've misjudged it.
It wasn't designed as a warship. More for scientific research and exploration.
But the Federation must have ships designed for war.
Technically, they're Starfleet ships representing the Federation. But yes.
I see.
Sidron.
A pleasure meeting you, Commander. I'm sure we'll cross paths again.
Commander Rydek, I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people. I'm afraid of what might happen without your help.
The Elidians have no right to your land. It was clear which side was more deserving of our recognition.
It's so different to have someone on our side. These are unusual times, to say the least. Much is changing. I saw you speaking with Sidron, our national hero. I'm curious, what did he say?
He seems to be of the opinion that negotiating for peace is a waste of time.
Because force is the only blunt instrument he understands. He's a miner, not a diplomat. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Calvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now, they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse, depending on your perspective.
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Elidians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster and bravado you would expect from them.
Do you think it has something to do with the Ion Storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Lydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines. I've made inquiries, but everyone pretends it doesn't exist. I strongly suspect they're hiding something.
What do you think it is?
I've heard rumors it's some sort of ancient artifact, but I haven't seen it myself.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding? I need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Take this. You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you. I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Sorry, I couldn't help but notice you were speaking with the Hotari this whole time. I figured in the interest of fairness, I should offer another perspective.
Of course.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So, why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me. Without a Lydian involvement, there is no dilithium trade. But clearly, you weren't aware.
Tau and the mines belong to the Hotari. They deserve to have control.
You overestimate their ability to run the mining operation. They have no idea what they're doing. Major Salit Arminta, Special Attaché, Lydian Armed Forces. Pleasure to meet you, Commander. I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption was that this storm was just an anomaly.
Yes, a very convenient anomaly. At least, that was what we were told. Of course, I wasn't there. But who am I to say otherwise?
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not even sure I believe it myself. But that's what they said.
You just answered your own question. How do a group of miners do something that in theory can't be done? That's how. Harnessing the storm.
But even if it's true, how does that even happen?
You tell me.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
Поговорим? Не поговорим. Поговорим? Не поговорим. Окно выполним.
Such rough terrain. No wonder the Hotari are so tough. That must be Tau. The place it all started. An Elydian warship, the Zelbi. They must want the Hotari to know they can use it at any time. But why haven't they?
Ja, ja, verloren.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Elydians stormed out.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently, the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chobak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clear picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. They are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chobak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Jovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Nah, Lieutenant Commander Chovak's not so bad. You know, once you get used to him. And, I've learned a lot working under him.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to work harder to be a political animal like you. This new first officer coming aboard. This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position. Westbrook here. First probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. But on the other, she did listen to my advice and use the whole polarity trick to get you through that excursion alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there. With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. Don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work. Who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
You know, I'd be the best leader Starfleet ever had. Lower decks always have to fix all the problems Command causes. Maybe I just save everybody some steps.
Well, don't forget about us little people when you're running things.
Of course not. You gotta remember where you came from.
Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. On.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Atari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually. We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more. Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. These are current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations. They line up with the interference pattern. The storm. And this beam. They're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
Here I thought the Illidians would be the problem. The peace talks and a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
For all their posturing, every indication is that the Illidians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us. And I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Sidron was very curious when we spoke outside the Queen's chamber. He wanted to know all about us, our ship, the Federation. He wasn't giving any answers. He was looking for them.
Well, I'm sure you didn't tell him too much. I don't think the Illidians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Arminta said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Illidians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Citron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It's hard to tell.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're not doing anything yet, until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. That this came from the mines, that it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illidians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
What the Federation doesn't know won't hurt them. If I do it right, nobody will know I was there.
Commander, I'm surprised at you.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
We say we pull these chips and find out.
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Here, I'll help.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
But I wouldn't say everything. But I know my stuff.
I can see that.
Come on, start pulling chips.
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
Just leave it there for now. Messing around with it could be dangerous. At least until we know more.
That's exactly why we need to get it to the containment lab. I can't make an exception just for you.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels.
We're at the edge of the quadrant. Help isn't just gonna pop over like we're in Sector 001.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
You talk like you've never had your backs up against a wall before. This is Starfleet. We solve our own problems.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast? But she usually doesn't scare easy.
Yeah, there was something a little off about her.
Like that talk about sending a distress call? That was pretty out there. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
We'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiation. He made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted as the Resurgence. Commander Rydek, do you want to take it from here?
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze. 99.2% match.
Got it.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
I can't speculate about how much they know, but one thing's for sure. They know how to use it.
Indeed.
Which might explain how they seized control of the mines.
And targeted us with a weapon that prevents warp travel.
Computer, what is the last recorded discovery of other Takan artifacts?
On Stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating the release with an entity known as Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense, considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
You might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence. Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The Elydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
There's only one way to find out. We need to see what's down there for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. That's why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'll get the away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. Given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylis can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality, aggravating an already tense situation. Can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
It's a risk we have to take. We need to know what we're up against.
Agreed. And of course, you'll have the full support of the Resolute throughout.
We must take every precaution.
Get in touch with Tylis and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Illydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime. Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsolar, where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Yeah. Her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiation.
Diaz, Tamaris.
Try her again. Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
properly pulled these isolinear chips? Did this? What the?
Oh, it's just you. I'm busy right now. Why don't you come back later?
What's the matter? Were you worried it was gonna be someone else?
No. I mean, I'm glad it's you. But I'm through here, so I can't stay and chat. I have other things to do. Sorry you came all this way for nothing.
What exactly were you doing in here? I saw you accessing files, copying them onto that.
This is secure data. It's really not my place to talk about it. Look, I appreciate that you came to check on me, but I'm fine. You worry too much. We're on a starship. Nothing's gonna happen to me here.
It's not the only reason I'm here. That crystal formation you took never made it to the containment lab. Westbrook sent me to find you. Find out what happened.
Will you drop it? I don't like being interrogated, Carter.
Hey, wait up!
I'm getting some very mixed signals from you right now. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Just tell Chovak or whoever I don't know where the crystals are, and let me go about my business. I know we have some things to figure out. I don't have time to stand around and debate with you.
I don't know what it is, but you're hiding something. What's in that storage drive?
I told you, it's secure data. So drop it.
Miranda, hold on!
No. Get out of my way.
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
There's something seriously wrong with her. She's not herself, I'm telling you.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, for one, she was copying data onto this.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Check the data on this drive. I'm sure it'll show her access codes were used. And there were probably files copied while I was still with you two in engineering.
That makes sense.
Then get someone down here who can prove that. But until then, I have to go.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record. Carter said you're not yourself. If something's wrong with you, we should head to sickbay and the doc will fix you right up.
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
You two know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first. But what I know is this is a security breach, and we should treat it as such.
Please, just let me go see the doctor.
She did have a bumpy ride back on the shuttle. Come on, Carter. We should get her taken care of.
You better be sure about this.
This is Petty Officer Diaz. I need a security team to Deck 5.
It's unbelievable.
Foliage on Tau resembles underwater plant life on Earth. The universe is full of mysteries. Rydick here.
This is Irma. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you better learn to like shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Understood. Rydick out. The ionic interferences coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
Saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
When you called to give us a scan, it sounded like they caught you. I was worried you'd been hurt.
It was nothing I couldn't handle.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Follow me.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible. That explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Tukan.
The Tukan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, but they've been gone for over 600,000 years.
It's hard to believe there's something like that on Tau.
Which is why I need proof. If we find hard evidence that Galvin and his allies are hiding dangerous Tukan technology, I can convince the Federation to let us intervene.
Understood. We're almost there.
That's the mine?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
The structure that circles the mine has entry points for transporting equipment into the lower levels. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Well, that's good to hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door. How dare you! Don't you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you try to deny me entry.
But I just...
You just what? Just now realize the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well. Something much further about it. You have no authority here. Do you understand who pays your wage? Triggered from the Queen directly in this instance. You'll regret everything you said here today. You should have opened the doors the second I appeared before you.
That's not the protocol. I didn't know...
Each second you delay my entry will be recorded and processed and permanently marked on the record. Can't believe this. Does your brain function? Do you speak our tongue?
I have orders.
How could a fellow Hotari not understand this? But digging your own grave. I've reached the end of my patience. Escort me to the meeting instead.
I told you I can't just...
Now.
But fine.
A wise choice. Lead the way.
Be quick.
Force field. Looks like it was installed recently. No safe way around it. Someone takes their breaks up here. Maybe the same guard who left that window unlocked. I suppose the view is nice. Not going that way. Let's get a look inside you. Full system access. Let's see if I can just... Bingo. Better hurry. Not sure how long she can keep him busy. Might be rigged to only open for registered users. No control panel here. I should take a look with my tricorder. Might control the exit door. Need to see inside it. Something in here is keeping that door closed. Got it. Should remove the security check on the door.
I didn't come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it? I'm used to having to throw my weight around. Hard to get anyone to listen to you otherwise.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your peril.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
That's the theory. Let's test it. Do you think we could just find a way to climb over this?
Possibly. But the console on the lift itself is locked by the same system that locks this ramp.
No shortcuts, then.
I'm sure you can figure something out.
No luck. Unless this console thinks I'm a Hotari guard, it won't work.
The guards work out of that building back there. Might have some DNA.
There's DNA on this console, but it's only partial. I can't use this.
Maybe because we're outside.
The weather out here could dilute any DNA samples.
What about inside that structure? That's where the workers spend most of their time.
Good idea. An Illidian console.
All the managerial technology in the mines is Illidian.
So they can keep an eye on their investment.
That's how it is.
Hopefully that guard stays outside.
Oh, he will.
This'll work.
didn't come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it? I'm used to having to throw my weight around.
I'm impressed. I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your peril.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least at the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
That's the theory. Let's test it. What's in all these containers?
These contain mining supplies, tools, energy packs for machinery.
Shouldn't mining supplies be inside the mines?
It is troubling. The workers here aren't mining.
An Illydian console.
All the managerial technology in the mines is Illydian.
So they can keep an eye on their investment.
That's how it is.
Hopefully that guard stays outside.
Oh, he will.
Wow, that is a lot of DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots. I can use this. That's a stable DNA sample. It's only partial, but a few more should do it. Atari must be tough on the inside, too. Not concentrated enough. I should try somewhere else. There's gotta be stable DNA here. Good. That's another I could use. Just need one more sample. Leftovers. I should give this a scan. Almost looks like coffee. Almost. I'll have some Ractigino when I get back to the ship. Some kind of glowing mineral being used as a light source. Might want one of these for my cabin, actually. Not enough. Gotta keep looking. This'll work. Perfect. That's enough to make the DNA profile. Time to go back to the lift. You're not coming inside?
There are some things I'd rather not smell.
Ah.
It worked.
Theory proven.
I'll get it started.
Ready?
I'm a little afraid of what we might find down there.
We'll be okay. We've survived worse than this.
Well, I haven't. But I'll put my faith in you. For now. Jara. Stay back. There's a guard at the station. You'll have to hide.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You watch your tone with me. I'm Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait.
Jues Gawad Abawincha.
Are you all right?
don't know.
Are you injured?
No, I thought if I could talk my way through like always, I'd be fine, but... I'm a diplomat. This isn't what I do. I've never even fired a weapon. This is just... It's real now. I wasn't ready for this.
Tylus, I understand how you're feeling, but we don't have time for this. I need you to get it together. Can you do that?
I'll try. My authority has never been challenged like that. It meant nothing to him.
So we should assume any Hatari we encounter from here on can't be reasoned with.
Agreed. The only loyalty they have down here is to Galvin and Sidron.
Can you switch over the lift?
The guard should have a scan card that will allow us to operate the switch.
Got it.
He's not dead, is he? He's still one of my people, and I didn't come here to take Otari lives.
My phaser's set to stun. He'll be perfectly fine, just unconscious for a while.
I see. We don't have that sort of technology on our weapons.
Good to know. Energy readings are emanating from this tunnel. It's sure to be guarded in there. Stay low and follow my lead. Is that all dilithium?
Not all of it. We excavate large chunks of rock that contain varying amounts of dilithium ore. It's sorted and processed at the collector ship above.
More guards.
I take that as a sign we're getting close.
I'll get a closer look. Looks like they've improvised a barrier.
Yes, we must be getting closer.
We need that particular card, don't we?
I'm afraid so.
Can you open that door?
Not without that scan card.
We don't have time to wait for them to finish whatever they're doing. We'll have to try to keep low and sneak past them.
I'm starting to see the utility of a phaser.
I wouldn't stand a chance against all three of them. I don't like our options here. I have to get us that card so we can open the door.
How? If they detect you, Galvin and Sidron's followers are clearly willing to kill to protect whatever is in this mine.
Hey, I'm trained for this. I'll be fine.
What should I do?
Avoid being seen. Stick to the edge of the room, and meet me at the door.
Analysis in progress. This Lydian technology is such a hassle. Would come back. I need the target practice. It's coming along. Usually the Lydians will try something else. They saw our power, our resolve. They're terrified of us. Until the plan is complete, we're vulnerable. Then get back to work. Complete the plan. Almost complete. It's just a matter of time.
Avoid being seen. Stick to the edge of the room and meet me at the door.
Get back to work and complete the plan quickly. Taste our victory. This requires too many inputs. Anyone who prevents our destiny should be eliminated. Processing. Are you hiding from me? It's just a matter of time. Good. Good. Arrogant obedience. Almost complete. Who's there? Guess I was wrong. How long is Galvin going to make us wait?
I'd melt if I went through there.
He's led us well so far. It's a miracle we're even here. We've been waiting for so long. Patience, brother. We'll get our chance. It's inevitable after all. Then it is. It's going long.
Stay close.
Stop!
What?
Motion sensors. They'll trigger an alarm. We'll be found.
Invisible to the naked eye.
They could be anywhere. How will we get through?
Kayaknya tak gitu.
this?
It's where the uprising started. Hotari don't do this. We defend ourselves, but we don't kill on this scale, this level of savagery.
There's no such thing as a bloodless rebellion.
I don't know if we should keep going. So much death. I don't want to end up like them.
We'll make sure they didn't die for nothing. What we learn here could save the rest of your people.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever happened here, it made the Elydians abandon the mines. Let's find out what they're so scared of. These crystalline particles, they're not dilithium. Are they common in the mines?
Not that I've ever seen.
Is this the effects of an Elydian disruptor?
Yes.
Disruptors are cruel weapons. Hotari and Elydian. Both sides took a beating. The Hotari fortified the side of the room opposite the door. It's a good tactic, but a few crates aren't going to stop fully armed Elydian soldiers. How did they win? From the blast marks, it looks like the Elydians had far greater firepower. Footprints. Elydian boots. Running back the way we came. Tylus. What kind of weapon did this?
This is like nothing I've ever seen or heard of. My people don't have a weapon that does this.
What else can you tell me? What an awful way to die. This must be why the Elydians are so afraid. Technology that surpasses their own, in the hands of the Hotari that they've lorded over for centuries.
Where did this weapon come from?
Well, the crystals are giving off tetrametric pulses. If I set my tricorder to search for that frequency... It'll lead us right to the source. The Illidian's shot to kill.
But if they killed him, why was he shot in the back?
Huh, you're right. The shot came from the side the Hatari were defending.
We don't kill our own. And he wasn't just caught in the middle.
Killed by the same crystallization as the Illidian.
Whose side was the killer on?
Tylus, you may not want to look down there.
I've come too far to... What is this?
They've been dumping bodies down here.
Unforgivable. Galvin and Sidron will be made to answer for this.
More of these crystals.
Another of my people dead.
Tylus, what is this machine?
It's for tunnel boring. The cone on the front is covered in disruptors that allow it to melt through the solid rock.
They don't seem to have finished the tunnel. Why stop here, I wonder? This Illidian tried to run.
They didn't let him.
This makeshift barrier forced the Illidians to enter from the service corridor, creating a choke point. Quite the advanced tactic for a species that's never waged war. think they parked this here on purpose?
One way to find out.
Need any help?
I've got it.
This concentration of tetrametric radiation has never been recorded. Whatever they're hiding, it's right through here.
This feels strange.
The crystals are increasing, growing outward, replacing the soil.
It's like an infection. A parasite. Growing inside Tau.
Incredible.
This is definitely not Hotari.
It's the remnants of the Takan Empire.
I don't think we should be here.
This is exactly where we should be. Every strange thing we've seen in this system, it might all come from this room. We need to learn everything we can. How are you holding up?
I knew Galvin and Sidron were dangerous. Now I know they're more powerful than I could have imagined. But the worst of it is knowing they got there by turning our people against their own. This place feels wrong.
I'll get what I need, and we can get out of here.
Thank you. Is it too, convenient that we found this place unguarded?
There's an old Earth saying about never looking a gift horse in the mouth.
What's a horse?
Never mind. Somewhat resembles a transporter pad. Look familiar?
It's almost identical to the console Galvin has hidden in the palace. It looks like a control surface. What are we looking at?
It's made of the same crystalline material as the rest of this place. But I can't tell much else. Might be some kind of sleep mode. I can't analyze this further unless it starts working normally.
Maybe we can turn it on from somewhere else.
Hopefully. Let's keep looking around. This suggests there's some type of complex life form contained within each crystal.
Life form? There's something alive in these tiny crystals?
That's what it says, but hard to imagine how that's possible. Our science division will have a field day with this. We need to study it on the ship.
Can your device read this?
It can roughly translate the words, but we don't have enough Taconian language on record to understand how it's structured.
Oh well. What is it?
The device's primary function is to transmute lithium into this quantized crystalline compound. Possibly for the creation of weapons.
Do you think one of these was used on that Iridian in the tunnels?
Such a cruel weapon. Looks like some sort of replicator.
I can't get it to work.
It has power. Must be looking for some other kind of authorization. crystallized lithium compound. Its internal structure is extremely ordered. In fact, the states of these crystals on a subatomic level suggests a storage device of some kind. Energy levels are both stable and ordered, like information. Some of them appear to be depleted.
What kind of information would you deplete?
I see it.
What's happening?
Someone turned it on.
There's no one here. But maybe the device I saw in the palace can send a signal?
If that's the case, we may not be alone for long. Let's hurry.
I can feel the power coming off it.
I've never seen this kind of energy before. I'll need to record this with my tricorder. This can't be right. It's putting out almost 50 zettajoules of energy.
I assume that's a lot?
Enough to power this entire quadrant. This amount of power, the kind of radiation it's putting out, it's the cause of the storm. The warp disrupting beam, all of it.
What do we do now?
We get back to the Resolute. They have to know about this. Come on, let's... Quickly. We have to hide.
Outrageous! I demand you let me go!
No need to complain. You're about to receive a gift beyond your wildest imagination. If anything, I consider it an honor.
What is that? What are you doing?
You'll see soon enough.
I can influence the course of the negotiation. I can make sure the Hotari get the better end of the bargain.
So can I.
said anything? Miranda won't be in here for long. Just gotta sort this all out.
If there was a chance between you two, I think you've blown it out the airlock. Hope you're happy. Miranda doesn't deserve this. We're supposed to be her friends.
What did you want me to do?
I wanted to bring her to sick bay.
You weren't there until the very end.
Start of something good. And you throw it away like that. I never thought you'd turn on me like this.
I'm sorry it came to this. I really am.
That's one of those apologies that doesn't really mean anything.
It's hard to be all in when I don't know what's going on with you.
You think I owe you an explanation? Starfleet and its never-ending search for answers.
Tried to find the other members of the security team that went to Otari, but they're missing. We found their comm badges stashed in a Jeffries tube.
You better hurry up and find them. There's not much time left.
Miranda, if you know where they are, you have to tell us. We're all Starfleet here. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Not anymore. I have a new purpose now.
Here's something.
What is it?
Eris didn't get bioscanned after returning from Otari. Neither did the other two that are missing.
None of them were scanned.
Which should not have happened.
Knew something was wrong with her. She started acting strange when she got back from Otari.
That would explain a lot.
We need to get more specific than that. I'll scan Petty Officer Maris and get some data to cut through all this speculation.
I think it's better if I do it.
Open up too.
I can't believe this. Ridiculous.
Data coming in. Come here for a second. Did you know?
Know what?
That's not Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
What are you talking about?
It's right here on the tricorder.
Hold on. Then who is it?
From what I'm reading, she might look like Miranda. Walk and talk like her too. She has different brainwaves, and even different DNA. Somehow, this isn't the same person we left Starbase with. I'm going to feed this into the main computer and run some more analysis.
Commander, there's gotta be something we can do for her.
This is incredible. By some process we don't yet understand, Miranda's body is being rewritten. Her mind has been remapped to another personality, and her DNA is resequencing. I'm not sure the extent of it, but it appears to be pervasive. Someone has taken over and is bioforming her.
That's a crude way to describe it.
Bioforming.
This is a problem. A big one.
What are you?
I'm Miranda, but so much more.
let them get the storage drive. It's not in the Universal Translator.
Who the hell are you?
We are the Scions of the Flame.
Stop her!
They're getting away!
Shoot her!
Scions of the Flame? I don't like the sound of that.
You're never gonna believe this. The reason the Universal Translator didn't recognize that language is because it's only ever been read. It's the Takan language.
Get your filthy Hotari hands off me! We'll burn your planet to the ground. Animals. Wait. No.
Rise, brother. Rejoin the flame.
This can only mean our time has come.
I'm only sorry I couldn't find a more suitable host for you.
All in good time. This is only the beginning.
They're working together? An Elidian and a Hotari?
They did something to him.
Secure the Cartabula.
Cartabula?
It's the energy source.
Spread out. Search the vault. Go back through the mine. Cut off their escape. Find them!
Time to go. We're trapped. They're blocking the only exit.
Maybe not. Can you buy me some time?
For what?
This vehicle looks a lot tougher than that barrier.
one driving the machine!
We're surrounded.
I'll get it working. Just need some time. Here we go.
Resolute, 2 to beam up immediately. Resolute, come in.
Dara!
Are you all right?
I think so. It hurts. What are you doing?
Hold on to me.
Commander, we read you, but there's too much interference. Transporters still can't get a lock.
Miranda was able to transport through the storm. There has to be some path through that we're not seeing.
Tetrametric radiation is saturating our sensors. There is too much interference to pick up the residual transporter signature.
Wait. Tetrametric radiation. Of course. I can align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. The crystals emit tetrametric pulses every 3.8422 seconds, roughly 26 centihertz. All of this is connected. The storm, the warp-killing field, the crystals, Miranda's alien transporter tech. Okay, I've got the transporter in calibration. There are a lot of biosigns in that mine, all stacked on top of each other. I need something to identify the commander signal. Something loud, energetic.
Understood. Commander Rydek, we have penetrated the storm's interference, but we are unable to pinpoint your signature. We need you to generate a high-energy event to help us...
High-energy event. Got it. Tylus, are you still with me? I am. Good. I'm going to shoot my phaser at some dilithium to cause a piezoelectric rupture.
What? Why?
Signal flare. Crystals have to be pure enough. Vigor still. Come on. Stand it.
Whoa! Dilithium explosion.
Is that energetic enough?
More than enough. I can lock onto their biosigns now. I've got their biosigns isolated.
Commander, we have your signal.
I'm gonna tunnel a path through the ionic interference. Got a path. Just gotta calibrate the signal. Got a lock.
Energize.
Petty Officer Diaz.
We're losing her.
The pattern is degrading. Can you hold the signal?
I'm trying. I got it. Come on.
Get her to sickbay.
Captain Solano and Ambassador Spock have just returned from Hotari.
Take a look at that.
Rydick, I need you on the bridge, now.
I'm here.
The Illydians are preparing to attack Hotari.
Status report.
Your systems are now fully powered. All torpedo tubes open. They're preparing to fire.
We should hail the Illydian flagship, Captain.
Readying phasers if you want them.
Stand by. Await my order. Recommendation, Commander? We need to act quickly.
We don't have to fire, but we can lock phasers on the flagship's weapons array. Give them something to think about.
As Commander Rydek said.
Locking on phasers.
The Illydians. They've powered down their weapons.
You sure about that, Mr. Armand?
They're venting some kind of gas from their ship. Hold on. Now all of their systems have shut down.
That's unexpected.
Commander Ermont, scan them again. We have to be sure.
No mistaking it. They're dead in the water.
What's happening?
There's an energy dampening field coming from Tau.
Take us out of range.
Aye, Captain.
Captain, the flagship is hailing us.
On screen.
Zeldi to the starship Resolute. Our main power cores are completely disabled. The more power we give, the more it takes. Running off batteries. Life support systems have failed. Unable to ventilate. Contaminated atmosphere.
Admiral, you are about to launch an attack on a defenseless planet.
Kobliat, you sided with the Hotari in the negotiation, but that does not matter now. My crew is going to die. Please, I beg of you. You must render assistance. System failures are compounding around my ship.
We'll help you.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Admiral, excuse us while we devise a rescue plan.
By my estimate, the crew only have 23 minutes before their atmospheric mix becomes lethal.
While we may not be able to transport the Illydians directly, if we were to transport them from their ship to a nearby shuttlecraft, it should be possible to amplify the transporter signal there and reroute it to the Resolute.
The Ambassador's plan is incomplete. An away team will have to beam aboard the Zeldi and set up pattern enhancers for a stable enough signal out of the dampening field.
Thank you for identifying my deficiency, Commander Chovak.
Jara, I need a senior officer in command of this. Take Chovak and Bedrosian in the shuttle. Get it done.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edselar, you will be part of the rescue mission. As will I. We will bring the shuttle within transporter range of the Zeldi, then beam you both aboard.
Beam us on board. Why?
Pattern enhancers must be placed on the Zeldi to make it possible to beam the Illydians back to the Resolute. Gather the pattern enhancers, and get to the docking bay.
We're going on the wrong mission.
Oh, what's that?
We're going to rescue the Illydians, the people that oppress the Hotari, when we should be going to rescue Miranda. This thing that's happened to Miranda is like the Trill symbiosis joining, only worse. And I've seen too many people I care about wiped away by some greater entity to stand by while the same thing happens to her. I wanted no part of it then, and I won't stand for it now. Their bodies stolen and used like puppets.
It won't be easy. She's gonna fight us every step of the way. We've seen that.
Remember, it's not her that's fighting us.
I know. But right now, we've got other lives to save.
Yeah.
away team is ready.
Resolute to Shuttlecraft Melville. You're cleared for takeoff.
Acknowledged, Resolute. Melville, taking off.
We are within range. Any closer will put the shuttlecraft at risk. Preparing to transport the away team. Energizing.
The ship's life support. It's almost completely drained.
And the other systems, too.
Oh no.
We gotta get to their transporter room.
The atmosphere in here is turning to poison. All of these Elydians are going to die if we don't get them out of here. These must close in case of emergency. They don't have enough power left to function. Carter, give them a charge with your phaser. Should make them open.
Not working.
No power's running through any of this. We gotta get him open manually.
I am the ranking officer here. State your intentions. We are under siege. Explain yourselves.
Our intention? Your leaders asked for our help.
And they sent you?
Yeah. Whoa there.
I am still able to stand. What are you trying to do?
We gotta get into your transporter room.
Then we can get your people off the ship.
Make sure they're evenly spaced. We need to manually adjust beam trajectory so they connect.
I got this one. You get the others.
officers are aligned and ready to go. Let's round them up.
These will boost the signal so we can transport through the storm. We have a shuttle outside this ship that will route the signal to the Resolute.
All crew to Transporter Room 2. We are evacuating.
We're alive.
Here they come.
Okay, coordinates. Beam status. Energizing controls.
Please step on the platform so we can evacuate you, Admiral.
The crew goes first, Arminta.
Sir.
I mean it.
You! Get on the platform already!
Okay, the interface is in Elydian, but the layout is the same as a Starfleet transporter. I just gotta do what I did before. Select the people to transport. Need to select all of them. Plot a path through the ionic interference. Path goes through too much interference, it won't work. Okay, just have to calibrate the signal gain to get the highest possible output. Wait, that wasn't enough power. Need to look for the place where the waveforms are farthest apart. Get in at the point where the lines are farthest apart. Even at this range, the interference is too much. The system is suggesting better transport coordinates. Diaz, the shuttle. You're sitting right in the thick of it. I'm sending you specific coordinates for a clear signal path.
Waypoint's been added to the navigational computer. There, Commander. Give or take 50 meters.
Come on, hold together. Melville to away team. Energize.
I have the first group of Illidians in the pattern buffer. Redirecting and transmitting to the Resolute now.
This is Resolute. We have the Illidians safely aboard.
We did it! I was so worried this wouldn't work. We got this.
Don't celebrate yet, Lieutenant. We've got a lot of people left to save.
Right. Sorry.
This is Commander Rydek. We're holding steady. Signal is good. Keep them coming.
Блин. У меня кровь нет, походу.
Admiral, you're next.
I've made it clear. I only leave after those in my charge.
Sir, I must insist you go so you can lead our people. I will see to any stragglers.
Yes, that may be for the best. But first, let me thank our human saviors. I'll pin medals on your uniforms when this is over.
You're very welcome, Admiral.
Does Starfleet let you wear another fleet's medal?
We will find out.
We're ready for transport.
Get the Admiral to safety.
Energize.
Massive power surge!
Sending available power to the annular confinement beam. I have the Illidians in the pattern buffer, but I cannot resolve their signal to send them through to the Resolute, nor can I materialize them here.
We need a better position with the Resolute.
I am losing their patterns. I need more power, but internal relays are not functioning.
I'll do it manually. Do it!
I am trying. I will lose the transport if I do not have more time. The signal is resolving.
Please!
We have lost the 15 Illidians in the last transport. I regret to report that we have lost the last transport.
My comrade.
Нет, блин, не так.
The Admiral.
Нет, нет, нет. Я не...
I regret to report that we have lost the last transport.
My comrade. The Admiral.
Unfortunately, our shuttle systems were damaged by the power surge. We can no longer serve as the transporter node.
Carter, these readings are off the charts. The source of the storm is on this ship. That must have been the power surge when it came on board.
You're right. The Takan energy source. If they call it the Cartabula, it's here.
Is that?
The intruders are preparing to bring the Zeldi to war.
And we're about to be stuck on it.
There is an old Lydian saying about leaping off the hot skillet and falling to the flame below.
Yeah, we got that one too.
This is an opportunity for us. We're on this ship. We can stay in the shadows. See where they're taking the Cartabula, and do something to stop them.
You always wanted the chance to do something big.
That's all well and good, but if we're not getting off this ship, we're really backed into a corner here.
We can't get off this ship.
But maybe I could target somewhere on the ship.
We are reading the warp engines powering up.
Yeah, we picked up on that.
We do not have a way to evacuate you from the Zeldi. The shuttlecraft is too heavily damaged.
We're gonna stay alive. Just do me a favor and try to track us down.
I can assure you, I will make every effort, Mr. Diaz.
Блин, а. Ну, погиб. Ну, в конце концов.
Live long and prosper.
I hear voices down the corridor.
We'll be here soon.
I'll guard the door. You just get us out of here, Diaz.
Hey, Stretch, help us with this map. Find somewhere as remote as you can.
You're almost here. Ridge?
The first place intruders would fortify.
Crew quarters?
High traffic, easily accessible.
There. The aft cargo bay.
That is acceptable.
Sounds good to me.
Whatever you're doing, do it now! We're locked in. Order transport.
Come on, Belle!
Belle!
It's too late for him. Carter!
Read the transport. Energize.
long as I could.
We saved many lives. And our people on the Zeldi knew the risks their duties entailed.
Contact the Resolute, Mr. Chobak. Have them bring us back.
Yes, Commander.
You saved as many Lydian lives as you could. And more importantly, you looked after your crew. That's what counts. You have to look out for your own, first and foremost.
That doesn't change the fact 15 lives were lost out there.
True. But 5 times more than that were saved. It's all a matter of perspective. Unfortunately, the Admiral was among those who didn't. Take it. I'm sure it's a huge blow to the Illydians. I hope they don't blame us. We suffered our own losses as well.
How are we getting our away team back?
Ambassador Spock and the rest of the senior staff are waiting for us in the briefing room to discuss just that. I wanted a chance for you and I to speak first, given the circumstances. While protocol might suggest we alert Starfleet about our situation, missing crew, the data breach, possible threat from the Hotari, or Khan, I think we're better off keeping this to ourselves, under our control. You know what's at stake for me here, and what is at stake for you, too. I can't afford another mission gone wrong, and I'm really counting on your support. I don't want to raise a false alarm just yet. I have every confidence we can wrap this up before it gets any worse than it already is.
I'm sorry, Captain, but this isn't about you. The lives of everyone who wears a uniform are at stake.
I don't see it that way.
We're ready in the brief. Room, Captain.
On our way. Is there any update on our efforts to trace the Zeldi's warp signature?
Unfortunately, no. Somehow they were able to mask the signature and block our ability to track their trajectory.
I'm also concerned about what went with them. A Taconian energy source.
Sidron referred to it as the Cartabula.
Yes, I've been analyzing your tricorder scans. This Cartabula is more powerful than any energy source on record. It disabled our ability to warp and likely created the ion storm.
Something that powerful in their hands?
We have to find that ship.
It could be anywhere by now.
Literally anywhere.
I have faith in our away team. They won't give up easily, and if they can somehow manage to stay alive, then maybe they could get word to us about their location.
That'd be a hell of a lucky break.
Right now, we need all the luck we can get. The Takan also compromised our systems when Petty Officer Mera stole data from our computer.
We're assessing what was lost as we speak. It's just too soon to say exactly what they had access to.
Starfleet needs to know about this.
We're not contacting Starfleet until we fully understand the situation. There are too many unknowns.
They stole our data. That's reason enough to warn Starfleet.
But the captain does have a point. Might be better to wait until we know more.
We either sound the alarm prematurely and look bad if nothing comes of it, or we keep this to ourselves and take the blame when it blows up in our face. Either way, we can't afford to get this wrong.
Indecision is not without its own consequences.
I want to speak with the Hotari, get to the bottom of this before we get Starfleet involved.
I expect we'll meet resistance. The Hotari think we violated our neutrality by entering their minds. Assuming the negotiations are off, we no longer have an official role here.
We still have a responsibility to the Hotari and the Elydians.
The Takan are a threat to both their civilizations.
No. They're a threat to us all. The device Commander Rydek found in the Taconian Vault is an advanced delivery mechanism for a complex biogenetic transformation process.
Meaning what, exactly?
Not only are they bioforming innocent hosts, transforming them into Takan, they're taking the DNA and engrammatic data of a specific Taconian and displacing that of its host. It's a hostile takeover on a cellular level, bringing individual Takan back to life, one by one.
Is there some way it could be reversed?
That's exactly what I've been trying to find out. So far, it appears the answer is no. Once the Taconian takes control, the displacement of the host is irreversible. And the bioform appears to be permanent. Petty Officer Maris called herself a scion of the Flame, but the computer had no information about it.
She also shot the hell out of my ship as she escaped, nearly killed a few of our crew. So we know this about those scions. They're dangerous.
The Takan have crossed a line. That much is certain. However, meeting with the Hotari could offer insight into their true intention. Under the pretense of an apology for betraying their trust and trespassing on their territory.
What if there are no Hotari left? If Galvin and Sidron were Takan, who else? The Queen?
I think we would know if that were the case. We'll take every precaution.
With the Cartabula gone, I can confirm we have regained warp capability and the use of our transporters.
Excellent. Commander Ermot, see if we can arrange a meeting on Hotari as soon as possible. As Ambassador Spock suggested, under the pretense of an apology.
Aye, Captain.
Nice work, everyone.
You're long overdue for a Duridian infusion.
It looks like I am.
Aside from almost running out of Duridium, you're in good health.
Nice to get some positive news for a change.
You I don't worry about. Captain, however...
Go on.
You see him, don't you? He's desperate. Withholding intel from Starfleet just to save his reputation. That's not normal behavior for a captain. And you dodged the issue. We can't make mistakes. That go down as the most obvious thing a first officer ever said. You've spent enough time with him now. Seen enough of how he runs the ship. If there's something wrong, as the ship's doctor, I need to know. Don't sugarcoat it. You know I wouldn't.
To be honest, I'm worried about him. It seems like the stress of this mission is getting to him. He has so much riding on its success. And I am concerned he'll do something rash to ensure it.
To know we see eye to eye on this. And I want to be clear. I care about Solano. I really do. I've been his doctor for years. There are more important things at stake than offending an old friend. If it gets any worse, you know where to find me.
Jara.
Monitor your Duridium levels. I'll be right back.
How's your wound?
Like it was never there. I feel lucky you were there with me. Without you, I'd be, well... Thank you for saving my life. Even with the wonders of your technology, it wouldn't have mattered if you'd left me for dead.
I should be thanking you. You took that disruptor shot for me. Without you, I might be the one in sickbay, or worse.
Well, I couldn't just let you die. Not after all you did to help.
I won't forget it.
We saw the truth down in those mines. What Sidron and Galvin really are. Who they've become. The lengths they're willing to go to. What they did to that Lydian. It's hard to accept that everything I thought I knew, so much was a lie.
It's always better to know. No matter how awful, the truth is better than living with a lie.
I am coming around to that thinking as well.
Commander Rydick, you're needed on the bridge at once.
What is it?
The Hotari have agreed to meet.
They haven't found us yet.
Can't just wait to be rescued. We have no idea when or if the Resolute is gonna catch up. If we can get access to the Zeldi systems, we might be able to figure out what the Takan are up to. You got somewhere we could do that?
Oh, oh, oh.